I am very excited to welcome to the stage Tiphaine Neveu, who is the head of influence PR and social at Club Med, as well as Sarah Shaker, who is the head of brand engagement for Maybelline New York at L'Oreal. Hi, Tiphaine. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Tiphaine and Sarah both have over a decade of experience each in influencer marketing and PR, digital, social strategy, community building. Tiphaine very much so in lifestyle industries, especially travel and hospitality, and Sarah in CPG, consumer packaged goods, and beauty. So thank you both for joining. Before we jump into everything, I would love to just get to know you, or maybe have you enlighten us rather. I would love to know who is the last creator who really piqued your interest? And Sarah, maybe we can start with you.
So for me, there is an up and coming creator on TikTok. Her name's Anna, and her handle is Maybe Both Styles. She's rapidly really started to grow in the New York space. And she speaks a lot about dating with this like big sister advice. She's very sharp in her storytelling, but she also happens to do, her get ready with me makeup while she does it, which we know has been a common theme in the space. But really, I noticed that she was ending with a Maybelline product every time. So it was interesting because she wasn't tagging us, but I found it. So anyway, her content is lovely and she's a lot of fun. So if you're someone who's very interested in dating advice from like the big sister, she's a great follow.
I love it. I love creators who are combining like life advice with like some other element. For me, Allison Roman embodies that perfectly with cooking and life advice. But Tiphaine, how about you? I know it's not actually a creator, but who has captured your attention recently?
Yeah, it's not a creator. It's a brand on Instagram that attracted me by a sponsored story. So it's a soda cream brand. So it's amazing how Instagram is attracted you by lifestyle, because I think the brand strategy of this soda cream is to attract by lifestyle, creating side products such as not soda cream, but t-shirt, caps with a really trendy lifestyle artistic direction. So now I want to be part of this lifestyle. I want to buy the side product and to wear it. So I want to be part of this lifestyle. It's pretty nice. It's a small brand, but with a huge lifestyle. They want, I believe, to develop brand desirability through a lifestyle, like let's take part of the adventure. So pretty nice way to discover the brand, but I think there is a limit if I want to wear and to get the side product. What about the core product, which is the soda cream? So I don't know, maybe it's a part of the strategy of the brand, but we'll see.
I think that's really interesting because I actually think the brand is taking a page out of the creator's playbook here. I think creators creating their own merchandise is definitely an interesting revenue stream we've seen creators develop over the last couple of years. And even at Tracker, we're trying our best to have our own merch as well. So anyway, awesome. Well, let's get into it. So we're coming off of the last session with Kat and Nikki, and I would just love to first hear from you both. Sarah, maybe we can start with you. What makes your brand compelling to creators, or what are you thinking about when you're trying to ensure your brand remains alluring to creators?
For our brand at Maybelline, and I would say, also across the other L'Oreal brands, I've sat in on a few of our brands over the past 7 years, but it's really important that we're building that one-on-one relationship. Currently on Maybelline, we're doing a lot of that in-house, which I'm happy to speak more on later. Also, really being open to the feedback on products from creators. And when it comes to mailers, for example, we do opt-in mailers most of the time. We know sustainability is a hot topic. So we really want to be sending you the products that you're most interested in or make the most sense for, maybe what your look is in general, what you'll definitely love to try. And then, we just, at the end of the day, really want creators to be able to speak authentically when they're telling our brand story and really just be able to be themselves.
I think that's really interesting about the opt-in mailers, and maybe we can go in deeper to that. I think there's a lot of backlash from creators getting so much free product, but also so much waste. And so that's an interesting approach to take. Tiphaine, what about you? How is Club Med trying to be an attractive brand to creators?
I get the very definition of the product is attractive because we are offering holidays in amazing locations. So basically, whatever we are talking to influencer or customers, I strongly believe that it is attractive. But for our audience and the personas we are targeting, it will be the kids club. So when we are talking to our influencer, we are targeting families because this is the core business of Club Med. So the kids club is pretty attractive to offer them holidays with the peace of mind. So kids club are taking in charge and they can enjoy holidays by themselves and having time all together. And the second argument, which makes the brand pretty attractive, is all the animations. So it could be regarding the sports, but also all the lifestyle and beautiful location we are developed and present.
Sarah, Maybelline has been an influencer favorite brand for a very long time. Can you just give us an overview of your influencer marketing strategy?
So the brand actually, has been around for so long, right? 1915. So really though, in the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, as we've become, that favorite of the CPG brands, we've really been looking at influencer from a full funnel perspective. So truly making sure that we're partnering with creators based on the objectives, right? Objectives of our campaigns or mailers or events. Because many creators, the top tier can do really great work for awareness for a brand or product or cause initiative. And then we know there are creators that are more lower funnel conversion drivers for partnerships with our retailers. So we really look at our influencer strategy as it's not one size fits all. It really relates to the creator themselves and what is the product, cause initiative, or tentpole that we're looking to highlight.
And do you have a different approach by type of creator? And like, how do you bucket your creators, I guess, into, do you have categorizations? Like, how do you think about that?
Sure. So I think we can look at them in different ways. We do look at them in terms of tiers. You have the traditional influencer pyramid where you have top tier, again, based for certain objectives, down to, mid tier and that consideration phase, almost like when you look at full funnel marketing, and those that might be lower tier, but truly have a high engagement rate and really engaged audience that can drive conversion. So we're looking at it that way. We're also looking at verticals. We, of course, want to work with those traditional makeup or makeup junkie creators. We love them. They're such friends of the brand, but we also really want to look at other verticals as well, depending on the product and what's appropriate. So even someone, like I mentioned earlier, maybe both styles, she's mixing dating with beauty. So she could be a potential future partner. And then, of course, other lifestyle verticals, millennial moms. It really depends on who is the audience and segment we want to resonate with. So we can definitely look at it from different perspectives.
And one more, just to dig in a little bit more, do you think that it's like the pyramid is a one-to-one relationship inversed to the funnel, or is that too simplistic?
Too simplistic. I think we can look at it that way as like high level. We can see it that way. But I think as the platforms have shifted more, a few years ago when we were really focused on Instagram before TikTok really boomed in the pandemic, you could definitely see creators in one way and how their still content performs, how their community engaged there. And now on TikTok, anyone can become an influencer, right? Everyone is a creator. So there are people that traditionally we may have really cared about follower count, but on TikTok, it's more about their engagements, their engagement rates, and how do they community manage their own community that they're building. So it's not that traditional top tier down to lower tier all the time anymore.
Okay, thank you. At Club Med, you have a completely different strategy when it comes to working with creators, working with influencers. In fact, you don't even call them influencers. I'll let you kind of explain that to us. And you're focused on a very specific moment in that customer journey. So I'd love to just hear how, just juxtapose the two strategies here, hear from you.
Yes, so my team belongs to the EMEA business unit. So I'm not reporting to the global or to the corporate. So my main challenge is to recruit new customers and not to create brand awareness or buzz or stuff like that. So we could talk about customer acquisition, but I would go one step further and we'll talk about prospect acquisition, because the idea is to create enough brand and product desirability through the profile we work with to generate desire, curiosity. So curiosity is when the prospect goes from the story to the website and potentially the act of buying. So which is more difficult to track because, to be honest, who is going to book a holiday based on a story? That's pretty tricky. The amount is pretty expensive, so we have to think about this kind of purchase. This is what our track and link will give us the KPIs. So we have 2 levels of appetence. So the first level is from the story to the traffic on site. And the level number 2 is the booking entry. So when people are doing 4 clicks on the website to arrive on a page, which is basically a quotation page. So the idea is to create business. We are hunting profile that can reach us prospects. So I know that after we'll go deeper into the segmentation. So I just want to chase you, like we have different segmentation. But the main topic is that we are working on business and not notoriety, which is part of the equation. But our main focus is to recruit new customer. And to recruit, we have to create brand desirability first.
Does that make it harder for you to find partners?
It's harder because it's a new way of thinking. I have to work closely with the brand, and this is the answer of why my team is about social media, public relation, and influence, not only influence. We are working closely with the 3 levels all together, because to be desirable, I have to have the end on the content on social media, on public relation. So everything is working together, and I need to get the hand on the brand desirability and to have a look on the brand to be sure that what we are exposing to our customer will be enough desirable. So it's a lot about lifestyle, but I have to take care also of what is about the reality and result. It could be a difference. So I'm kind of guardian of the lifestyle to be sure that my desirability stay at the highest level regarding the audience I want to recruit.
Okay. And we'll go deeper into some of that in just a minute. But I think it's really interesting to see a setup in an organization where you are focused not on brand awareness, but on that conversion to customer. And I think the 3 areas that you own too, bringing them together, I think that's also very strategic and in an interesting configuration internally. Sarah, you have developed a creator program called the Maybellines, which I enjoy the name a great deal. And it's giving you a chance to work longer term with creators. And I'm curious, how does that program work? And what are some of the benefits you're seeing from it that you don't get when you do one-off, like paid collaborations?
The Maybelline program. So I'm really excited to chat about this. I cannot take the credit for this. My team, I have a director of influencer who is excellent, who has been on the brand for years. So when I joined to manage her and the team, I was so thrilled about this program. They've been doing it for about a year. We're going to reanimate it next year. Essentially, as you alluded to, it's an always-on partnership with a set number of creators. And we have 2 objectives here. One is that they're able to create content each month based on brand priorities. So that could be a product launch, that could be a cause marketing initiative. For those that are unaware, we have Brave Together, which is really near and dear to my heart personally as well, where we are working on providing tools, not just donating funds for our mental health. So for depression and anxiety. So, whether they're storytelling that for us or they're storytelling a product launch, that would be, one objective of working with these Maybellines. The other side is for them to really pitch us. What are the trends they want to cover? Where does our brand fit in, especially in this TikTok world, with these trends? There's, this new doe eye look, say, we think this liner would be great. We want to do that this month. And of course, they work very closely with my team, with my director of influencer that I mentioned and her team to come up with how that can come to life. So it keeps it authentic to what the creator wants to be speaking about. And it keeps our brand relevant in the, super fast-paced world of a TikTok trend. So it's been really excellent. And I'm very proud of my team for this partnership.
We started this whole conference with some data on creator retention and how, and we actually used a very large group of over 1,700 beauty brands as a data set to see what is the loyalty of a creator to a brand and how does that change quarter over quarter. And we saw that the rates are actually surprisingly low. And when you factor in the cost of creator acquisition or building that relationship to start, like that's a problem if you're trying to grow your program. So it's cool to see these different formats that can exist for these always on longer term programs. When you having a longer term relationship with creator too, you spoke to that agility. Like when you see a trend, you can jump on it right away. You don't have to go find and contract with somebody new and then probably miss the trend and the sound is gone and the, whatever, like the world has moved on. So I think that's really interesting. And I can only imagine, you spoke at the beginning about product feedback, that you can have like deeper conversations, deeper feedback with this group than maybe you get.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really great. And it's helpful then to pass that on to the larger marketing team, even product development if we need to. And even just to hear what they're like, I'm obsessed with this thing. Like, I wish this had more shades or whatever it was. And it's like, okay, that's good to know. What are the reasons you're obsessed with it? So yeah, I mean, it's wonderful to have almost an influencer community in that sense as part of this partnership.
Okay. Tiphaine, I would love to know a little bit from your perspective, what does a typical engagement between Club Med and one of your partners look like? Because the whole push to conversion is definitely different.
So when we want to collaborate with Profile, we have several steps such as checklists for before, during, and after the stay that really strengthen the mutual commitment and set a better collaboration from a qualitative and quantitative way. So before, we really want to follow well in advance the profile to try to understand who he wants us to understand he is regarding Instagram, because there is a part of confidential privacy, to see if our product and our proposal will be a perfect match. We used to say that we are matchmaker. It's not about just the profile, it's the profile and the result, the proposal, the financial proposal. Everything should be a perfect match to get the perfect collaboration. We are also checking if the way of communicating suits us. What is the expression? How does it exchange with the community? Then we look at the audience, which is pretty important for us, as we have to have a deep look into the income. We are not selling such as Maybelline product with a small price. We are talking about holidays when it's about family, the cost could be really expensive. So we have to be aware that if we are not targeting the right audience, first, we will create frustration within the audience, and we can have a not relevant and profitable collaboration with the profile and regarding the business and cost engaged. So we have to take care of that. And then we contact the profile to meet him. It's important for us to meet people in real life to confirm the match, the behavior of the profile, the interest into the brand. We have to get the feeling to know if it's an opportunism or if there is a real potential for the profile to embody the brand. So that is before, and if everything is okay, there is a new step that pushes the commitment of both parts, which is to sign the charter that we have built for the influence team. We also ask the justification of the obtention of the marketing influence marketing certificate from the, how do you say in English, ARPP?
Like an ad regulation board. Yeah, the French regulatory board for advertising. That's interesting. They have to take a class to prove that
they pass. They get the certificate, and that we edit the contract, and we provide them the tracked link. So that is just before, so that engage everybody and commit everybody together, which is pretty important. The before part is 80% of the collaboration. Then during the stay, we accompany in real life sometimes people. Otherwise, we are available by WhatsApp to answer questions regarding the product, regarding everything on the brief. It's not clear for them. And after, we share feedback. So they share with us the feedback of the stay, and we share also feedbacks based on KPIs we've got. And then we keep the link to maintain the relationship. It's pretty important for us to keep the relationship, because as we talked before, holidays is part of a lifetime for people. So we are inviting people during their personal time to take off and to come with us. So we are to be okay and aware if on their schedule and on their mindset, it's okay to have this collaboration, to be half professional because we have a contract and half enjoy on the personal side. It's not marketing tool. It's people that embody the brand. And if it's not the good moment in their life, we are not working with them. We let them, it's different because it's really about human personality, emotion when we are living holidays. So it's not just showing a product, it's living an experience. So this is the way we engage and commit people in the collaboration.
That is very interesting. I think the thing for me that is most intriguing is France has this an advertising regulation board, and that board put together a coursework for influencers on how to be transparent in their ads and in their partnerships. And so I think that's great to require that your partners have gone through that training and understand the laws. Sarah, I'm going to just keep flowing here. Sarah, I'm really curious to hear your answer to this question because, before COVID, it seemed the sort of was on the trip thing, but different. Pre-COVID, it seemed like there was this race between brands to put on the most extravagant trips, and you had influencers being flown everywhere. And that has, obviously COVID canceled all of that. And so, it seems like things might be shifting. And I'm wondering do you think that those types of trips are still required to build relationships with influencers, or are you seeing other means?
I would say not required in this COVID kind of post-COVID world, although I know we're really always going to be a part of it. It's the idea that we really want to make sure wherever the event is, that we can keep it memorable for the attendees. So for us, that means one-on-one time, whether it's with the brands, like with my team. So there's that human element with the brands, experts that we bring along, like one of our makeup artist ambassadors. We have 2 in LA, 2 in New York. So having them to be able to touch, play with the product, with the makeup artist, that keeps that, it memorable and keeps them close to the brands. And then also figuring out what is that perk or exclusive opportunity. Maybe it's not we're flying to Hawaii, which I may have done with Garnier years ago with influencers, which we got beautiful content and we could prove the ROI there. But at the end of the day, you don't need to do something like that to really give a creator access to something that maybe they wouldn't have access to in an event space. So I don't think that the elaborate trips are required, but in person definitely is back, and we're excited to be together.
That's awesome. I'm excited to do this virtual event, but I'm also excited for in person too. It's just I definitely miss the connection. Although I'm not gonna lie, I am wearing very comfortable slippers right now, which would not be happening.
Gotta love the slippers, the sweatpants.
So, there are perks. There are really great questions. So I want to first ask David's question. And I think, Tiphaine, this is mostly for you. You have a colleague in the hotel industry asking for recommendations on how to promote less popular destinations or destinations in their low seasons when there are fewer requests.
Good question. To be honest, this is the same strategy as the most famous resort or well-established resort. Our strategy is that we use the KOL, so the key opinion leader, as the main ambassadors to recruit. And it's the same segment we use, whatever it's a novelty or whatever it's a resort well established. It depends on the lifestyle. If you have something pretty new and you want to make kind of buzz on it, I think you have to get on the same strategy, but with a focus on a trendy topic. For example, we are opening Tignes, so a station, ski station in the French Alps within 1 month, so pretty close. And we are organizing an event. So I'm inviting some KOL. And I decided to invite specific, and we say niche KOLs, so people coming from and kind of expert on topic. I don't want to have a big buzz. I want to get a buzz on what is the added value of this resort. This resort is about sports, pretty sports station, and pretty lifestyle and festive station. So I'm inviting people who are pretty about this kind of persona. The all Parisian people are following them because they are bankable. So I'm just targeting and make difference between the all year long is my family, my classical persona, families, couple, a group of friends. And when it's about having a highlight on a novelty, I'm going deeper into the persona with a focus regarding the added value of the resort. It could be activities, it could be a location, etc., etc. But it's adding another deep filter into the persona. This is how we make the difference between all year long resort offer and novelty.
Okay, but that makes sense. Sarah, I'm curious, have you ever had collaborations about lifting up I guess in your world, maybe it would be more so like a product that has lost some steam or hasn't gotten a lot of influencer love? Have you worked on strategies like that? Does it work?
We'll get that request from marketing from my category head counterparts. If this product is dipping in sales, or it was a product that used to be so well loved, but for some reason, maybe other competitors have a new innovation, and we really need to remind consumers of, where our product fits there, the efficacy. So I would say we'd call them more like reanimation campaigns. We'll definitely do work like that. And that's been across different beauty brands I've been on at L'Oreal. So it really depends. And sometimes those partnerships too would be with a retailer, right? If it's like a Target exclusive, or back when I was in Luxe with, a Sephora exclusive product, how do we partner with them too to help us get the fuel behind that?
Yeah. Okay. So, and I think that's interesting too. Do you have different influencers or creators you work with when you're trying to drive in-store versus online sales?
Absolutely. And the ones too that, again, I hate that I always use the word authentic, but that authentically already speak about those retailers, shop there. There's going to be certain creators who create beautiful beauty content, but we know that they only shop in those luxury stores, department stores. They might use a sister brand like YSL, but they probably really wouldn't buy a Maybelline product at a drugstore. So with those, we work hard to partner with the creators that already shop at Target or Walmart or drug when it comes to Maybelline, and that obviously that authenticity will help as well.
Okay. Question to you both, and maybe Tiphaine, you can go first. When you're negotiating with creators outside of compensation, what do you find are the most important criteria or the discussion points? What is most important to your creators?
It will be kind of tricky, but I would say freedom and authenticity, because the more freedom the brief gives them, the more comfortable they are, and the more and better they create. So, for example, in ClaimMed, there is a small brief quantitative side, like I need 3 stories per day. I want you to put the links 3 times during your stay. Regarding the content, whatever you want, just enjoy. If you enjoy, everything will be okay, and they will do more. So this freedom is part of what they are looking for when they want to collaborate with brand.
Yeah, for me too. So obviously we both keep speaking to that authenticity, but I think also for us, when we can also offer the potential product development, whether that's partnership, L'Oreal being the largest cosmetics company, some things are really produced, or ideated years in advance. So if there's an opportunity for more of a trend product to get a creator in to help us, whether that's, shade extensions that matter, whether that's fragrance notes in the products, back when I was on Garnier or now on Maybelline, like what is that scent? What is that thing that they care about to put their print on it? If we're able to do that, that's something outside of comp that creators are really excited to be able to imprint on and be a part of.
Yeah, I think we heard that from the creators themselves too, the importance of freedom over the brief. I'm probably going to botch the quote, but the risk is to the creator's brand. Like if things are so scripted.
And then it won't perform. They seem fake, like they're not, partnering with a brand that they really care about.
Actually, the performance thing is interesting. There's a question about which metric or metrics matter the most, in your opinion, to determine success in an influencer partnership. Maybe Tiphaine, that would be interesting to understand from your perspective. What are those metrics you're looking at?
So when I arrived in ClaimMed, there were no metrics regarding influence. So we decided to set up one metric that already existed. So we had a look on the other marketing levels. So we said, okay, in media, they put a tracked link. So if we put a tracked link, we can compare our levels to the media. and to see if we are more profitable than the old media, because I do believe that influence can be one of the most powerful marketing levers. And to be honest, we proved it. So that is pretty nice. So we are putting a tracked link for the moment. It's the only KPIs that we have regarding the business. So we are not looking what is the conversion. It's about the prospect acquisition. So with the 2 level of appetence we were talking about just before, that is the main KPI that my direction is looking at. But on the other side, we are also looking about what is the other business created on the offline side. There is what we can see of the iceberg, and there is the other part under the water. And this is why we are working on a code affiliation. So it's tricky because Club Med is an old and well-established company with old system and tools. So we are trying to see how we can offer and propose to our profiles code, but personalized code with behind not a promotion and not a discount, but a personalized gift. It could be for someone in front of paddle tennis to offer to his community to get a personal training of paddle in a resort. It could be a spa for someone with interest in wellness and stuff like that. So this is the way we are trying to develop influence and to get other KPIs with maybe the acquisition and maybe the conversion per profile, which is not something that we can do today.
That's cool. For us, I think there's aspects. I love kind of the qualitative things you were speaking on, with that code for us. Quantitatively, of course, the numbers don't lie, in the sense that we've been working very closely with Tracker over the years, globally at L'Oreal as well, where we're looking at engagement rate, cost per view, cost per engagement. But also super important to us is the qualitative, like looking into the content types, because again, is this authentic that we're asking them to do? Does it make sense with content they already create? What's the sentiment of their community is another way that we're really measuring success. Are they getting those positive comments? We see a lot on TikTok. People are very proud of these creators, like their friends, like, someone like a Michaela will get like a, yeah, girl, like get that money, like get that partnership. So it's like, are they seeing the positive sentiment in their comments? And also qualitatively, we look to see, are they community managing their community? Are they fostering the growth of it? I think someone like Kat Stickler, who spoke earlier, I love to see, she's someone that I think has fun in her comments with her community. So that I think is something that's more of a qualitative measure and result.
And I would add above all of that, there is what is the power of the word of mouth. For example, after an opening, after an event, of course, and obviously, I'm looking into the deep KPIs with numbers. But on the other side, there is people talking more and more about Club Med, and it's like a FOMO effect, so a fear of missing out. And when I feel this FOMO, I'm okay. Job is done. Whatever the KPIs, the numbers you can see.
Yeah, that's great. The advocacy.
All the niche of KOL are talking about Club Med. Job is done, guys.
Exactly. That advocacy that you're driving, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, and that is why we say the art and science of the creator experience. Like it's not all quantitative, but it certainly can be measured and should be measured. But what you're looking for is that effect that you just can't calculate sometimes, or the calculation doesn't make sense. I once heard in marketing that 1 + 1 = 3. And I think that there's actually some truth in that, although I am accused at Tracker of having very poor math skills. So anyway, it makes sense. I'm going to pull up a question here. When negotiating with creators, do you ask for their rates first? Do you propose a campaign budget? Have you seen success with one or the other?
Sure. So we don't have designated rate cards at this time, at L'Oreal, but so much of that, because the negotiation with top tier happens in-house. As I mentioned earlier, there is, we obviously know what our budget is in mind, but starting with creators that we already know, we look at their past content. How does that perform in terms of the cost per view, cost per engagement? What can we estimate with the data that we have, especially through Tracker? And then, negotiating on what would be that standard, what would make the most sense with their manager and agent. And, sometimes it's pretty much on the money. There's some wiggle room. We might adjust deliverables. And, sometimes might be asking for so much more, and we would really look for them to give us almost that why. But at the end of the day, yeah, we're not going to put all the cards on the table. Like, we have X number for this, like this, we're going to, we want to make sure that there's that back and forth conversation in negotiation, because we want them to be paid fairly while we're also getting the return on investment.
Thank you. Tiphaine, what is your approach?
We have kind of tailor-made posture with profiles. There is several rules regarding profiles that want to work with us, or at the beginning of the collaboration, we have a look on the audience. That was I was saying just before. And it's more about, as we are pretty close to the profile we are working with, because we have to know deeper the day-to-day, the family, and to get some confidences to be able to make the perfect story. We are trying to know what the profile wants, and sometimes it's big profiles, but we used to work with 10,000 or 20,000 followers profiles. So we are not working with big audiences, because this is not the KOL size of community. So pretty small, but pretty qualitative. So reach is not the main KPIs we are looking at. We are looking at the income of the audience, the profile, like, is it a normal person? Is it someone who respects myself, who will respect people and my staff in the resort? Is it someone that will have the ethics to collaborate well with us, to respect the brand, and to enjoy in the full potential the gift we are offering them? People have to meet us, and we say how it will end. Sometimes they ask us for price, and sometimes they ask us to define the price. It depends.
Thank you. So I think that the takeaways here is that with anything, there's not one size fits all, but grounding it in data, in some cases in performance data, in some cases in audience data. You might be only have 10,000 followers, but those 10,000 followers are the perfect audience. That could be worth more than maybe what benchmarks might tell you. And so I think that's really important. I cannot believe it. We are close to only 3 minutes left in this whole conference. And so I just wanted to stop here and say thank you so much, Sarah and Tiphaine, for joining me and for sharing your insights. And there's so many things we didn't get to, but I really value the experience you shared with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all the great questions, everyone, too.
Wow. Thanks so much. Thanks for the engagement. And we'll talk to you all hopefully soon.